Now, let's get into these flurry of housing bills that have passed recently. And to your point, some of them kind of have good intent, but the actual bill and the execution kind of falls through because it's kind of, I don't know what the intent. I know what the intent was, but I don't know why they worded it this particular way. So, we have AB 2097. I want to kind of bring up with you 2334. Yep. I have some kind of insight too, and then maybe we could kind of lastly touch on 2011. So I'll let you start with 2097 if you want to kind of.
So yeah, this is the no parking bill.
Yeah.
In what I call it, which, so basically what happens if you're looking to develop a site that's located near a major transit stop.
Yeah.
And I would argue that from my experience, and I'm 57 years old and I've been in development for over 25 years and I've been in real estate for over 3 decades. Right. I've worked on a lot of projects, large, small, for sale, for rent. So you really need to be either right on top of a metro stop or within like 2 blocks.
Right.
Because the minute, and I think the federal government looks at like an 1/8 of a mile, 1/4 of a mile, half a mile, how far someone is willing to walk in a light rain to get, or a light snow shower to get to public transportation.
Right.
If you have a bus that stops right at your front door, that is where you can say, okay, that's major transportation that is going to let me consider the fact that I can reduce parking in my building.
Right.
The fact that I can go down to, this is less than 20 units or including 20%, very low affordable, you can go with no parking.
Right.
But here's my rub. And I have this argument everywhere. And people who have seen my comments on LinkedIn, I have to admit, I don't follow anybody on LinkedIn. I don't ask anyone to follow me. Yeah. If you post something, because I know you, I'm going to look at it.
Yeah.
I'm, again, a little older, not so into the social media, but I've worked on enough projects and people can go to my website. They can see my portfolio.
Yeah. You
try to deliver a building in Los Angeles, in my opinion, with no parking, you have a hurdle on your hands.
Of course.
Because if it's something that does require a public meeting, and I'm going to dump a building in a neighborhood that already feels like they already have too much traffic, not enough parking, et cetera, and I'm going to say, well, here's 100 units and I've got no parking. Not even my staff that operates the building has parking.
Right.
Not even if there's ground floor retail, they don't even need parking.
Yeah.
I think the concept of washing away and now for the sake of creating affordable housing, yes, that building will cost less to build. A below grade parking right now is $40,000 to $50,000 a space is the numbers I use.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you have to create multiple layers of concrete.
Of course.
To do that.
The concrete that holds that parking.
Yeah. And right. So, and there's even with automated parking, which to a certain degree, you got to build a concrete structure and then to insert all the robots and systems to make that work.
Right.
I just think this sounds great. And then some of the other items we'll get to that, the minute you get these exceptions.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you also need to use prevailing wage labor rates.
Yeah.
Okay. So we took away some costs, but then we put nope, there's one more thumbtack in the back of your hand.
Yeah.
And that's going to raise cost anywhere from 15 to 25%.